Hello, and welcome to day 15 of the Herbally-Inspired Holiday Challenge. My name is Allison McGill, and I am herbalist and owner at the Well Cultivated Life. Thank you for joining me for tonight's program. We'll be kind of continuing our tea blending, and this time we'll be doing something a little bit different. So our plant of the day is going to be nettles. Nettles, this beautiful, amazing, awesome, wonderful plant. Oops, on the wrong way. That everyone should have in their apothecary. And the word of the day is transformation. So when you start to work with plants, a transformation absolutely does begin to happen. And so I hope you have been having some good transformations for yourself over these last couple of weeks. And let me just start out by reading the beautiful saying from the card. And these are from the Soulflower Essence, Plant Spirit Oracle deck. Soulflower Plant Spirit Oracle deck by Lisa Estabrook. So it says here, wake up. Nettle helps you transform foggy thinking so that you can respond to prickly or heated situations by speaking up for yourself in alignment with your own truth and without harboring resentment or attachments that can leave you feeling tired, congested, and irritated. So she's definitely playing on the stinging aspect of nettle. And nettle is just one of the most nourishing, helpful herbs that you can possibly use. And so it's going to be the base for our tea that we're going to be blending tonight. I can just tell you just a little bit about nettles. It has lots of nutrients. It's actually a food. It's eaten as a spring green. You got to cook it a fair amount of times before you eat it. So it's a spring green. It can also be collected, and the stems can be made into fiber. I saw this video one time of a person in England collecting these super tall nettles, and he took a piece of leather and he just like stripped off all the leaves and left them on the ground. And I thought, what are you doing? Take those home and make them into tea. The seeds are a specific remedy for kidney issues if you make those into a tincture. And again, it has all these other nutritive values, including helping with different types of allergies. It contains quercetin, which you may have heard of. It's kind of the hot allergy relief compound that a lot of that you hear about a lot. In fact, one of the herbal protocols I saw for COVID included quercetin. And so should that happen, just make sure you're drinking your nettle tea. In fact, nettle tea is something that you could drink every single day. So today what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you, I'm going to do like we did yesterday. Hopefully that was okay. I brought in an extra light here. So let's get going here. I'm going to do the same thing I did yesterday. I'm just going to close my thing here. Okay, so I've already started putting together this tea blend. And like I said, I'm using for the base for this nettles. So nettles is just this delicious. Not only is it so good for you, one of the things I love about using nettles is that it has a just a very mild, almost neutral kind of a flavor to it. And so it can be mixed with anything. It can be made into its own tea as well. So we start with nettles. Again, what we're doing is just kind of making piles of the different ingredients that we want to have in our tea blend and piling them up in the ratio that we want to have them. So we start with nettles, and then the next essential for this particular, and this is what I call a nourishing tea, okay, is calendula, which I'm sure you're all familiar with. In fact, it's going to be our plant of the day tomorrow, so I won't talk about that too much. Red clover is another wonderful flower. And then we've got these milky oat tops, and I've got some Got a whole one here. I don't know if you can see that or not. So the oat, just like oatmeal type oat, can be grown and harvested early on before it turns into a oat seed, and we call that milky oats or oat tops sometimes. I was working at a farm last year. Was it last year? The year before. And they were growing some oats, and I snuck over and harvested a few before they actually got completely ripe and got these beautiful oats. And those, again, are another very nourishing. We think of them as nourishing as food, but they also make a great nourishing aspect to our tea. So these four here, the calendula, red clover, nettle, and the oats are sort of our upper plant part, leaves and flowers that we make into the tea. Now over here, you can see that I've got a pile of roots. There's actually 3 different roots in here. I have dandelion, burdock, and yellow dock. And so those are 3 roots that I like for my personal, health. If you were just going to pick one root, I would suggest dandelion. It's just such a great all-purpose toner. It's great for your liver, and it's just an awesome, amazing plant overall. So you can add some roots in there to give a little bit more medicinal touch to your tea blend. Now, that's the basics. And now what we can do is I'm going to show you, like I did yesterday, what are some other things that we could add in depending on what you like. So I'm going to set this down here for a second. So the first one is Schizandra berries. Is this light helping? Not really. So here's our Schizandra berries here. They're kind of ugly, but they are a great, again, another sort of liver helper. You can add those in as an extra little bit of a fruity flavor. This is some other type of berry. This is the hawthorn berry. This is a great like heart remedy and just a really nice, again, flavor, a little bit of a berry flavor. You could add in some rose hips. I didn't bring any of those down here for that. But most likely you're going to add in, and I always add these in, I don't know why I did, rose petals, the rose petals. So I'm actually going to go ahead and add some of those into my blend right now. So I'm looking at this right now, and I'm thinking, well, I probably would want to add either some berries or probably some more of the dandelion root, because I'm not, ratio-wise, it's all this kind of upper plant parts, and I don't have a lot of roots in here. So I'm probably going to go ahead and add in another handful of dandelion root, and then I would simply, again, just mix it up. We're good to go. Now, when I store my own nettles, because I have a huge nettle patch, I store them kind of like this. I try to keep them as whole as possible. When you buy them in the grocery store, they're going to be all broken up. You're not going to find whole red clover like that in an herb store. It's going to be all broken up. But if you're collecting your own and you can keep it whole, it's just going to keep it a lot fresher. So I hope that is super helpful to have me like do the little close-ups on that like that. And I wanted to show you one other aspect of making the teas. So when you get your blend all blended up, you put it into your beautiful bottle that you're going to gift to somebody or gift to yourself. Then when it's time to brew your tea, what I always do is I just take a mason jar like this, and it's about like a heaping teaspoon per cup. So I might put like 2 huge spoonfuls of loose tea blend into a quart size mason jar like this, or whatever kind of canning jar you have. And then that allows it, I always put a metal spoon or a knife in it just to help like take off the heat. I go ahead and pour my boiling water into it. Only 2 times have I had a jar crack on me in the whatever, 20 years that I've been doing this. And then I just let it sit and loosely steep in there. I just think it gives the plant material more space to move around in there, and it looks so nice. You can like swirl it and look at the beautiful, especially with the flowers in there, they look so awesome. Then when it's time to have a cup of tea, you're simply going to take your strainer that I had shown you before, swirl this a little bit, pour it into the cup. And then what I usually do, since I'm not drinking a whole quart at a time, I'm just going to take that plant material, I'm just going to put it right back into the jar and let it continue steeping for however much longer until I drink it all up. So that's basically my my steps for making tea. If you can make them however you want. Some people don't want to deal with the swirling, messy herbs. When you're done, of course, you can just compost them. And if not, you can use what I showed you before. Oh, I found the other ones, which is you can use these disposable kinds of refillable tea bags. Or you can actually, these are the kind of muslin bags, which is nice because they're bigger. And I've seen the really long tea bags that are refillable as well that you can also use to swirl around in and so on. So if you're gifting, you got to think about who you're gifting to. Will they want this? Will they use a tea strainer? Or what would be best for your friend or family member that you are gifting to? One other option that you can add to your tea blend, which I often don't, it depends what kind of mood I'm in, is mint. Of course, we haven't talked about mint at all during this whole 2 weeks. I grow this apple mint, which is like, I will never need another mint in my life because it's huge and giant patches. And so I always have plenty of apple mint around. And if I'm in the mood for something minty, this is very sweet. It's not super strong like other mints. So it's easy to use in your tea as well. And what you can do is you could actually make a mint-based tea. So you start with your mint and then you can add some of these other things to it. My suggestion is if you haven't really done any tea blending before, that you get maybe 3 different herbs, maybe 4. Lemon balm would be another lovely one that you could add in. And you just don't do too many at a time because you want to know, oh, I like this flavor. What's it from? And if you have too many different herbs mixed together when you're first learning to blend, then you're not really going to know what you like and what you don't like. So anyway, I hope by now you can get, you've got a little bit of an apothecary going for making teas. Teas are just the most lovely, wonderful, especially this time of year. And so I want to say cheers to you. I hope you have a lovely cup of tea tonight and to help you relax before bed. And I will see you all tomorrow, where we're going to be getting a little non-edible tomorrow. So I'll keep you surprised with that one. Have a wonderful night, everybody.